We got the hits. We got the gist. This is Lagos' #1 lifestyle station, City 1051 FM.
Cool. That, of course, is Lynxxx and Ikechukwu, Ill Bliss, and Fino Final. And that one is exactly
Southeast
9:30.
Connection.
Yes, so basically, it is 9:30 and it's breakfast in the city, live and underway. I'm Bellarose.
And I'm Chiwetel.
We're not alone in the studio this morning. We
Yeah.
are having breakfast, and well, we have about 1 hour 30 minutes to go on the show. And the cat has dragged in the one, the only Lynxxx Otono. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise.
Oh shit.
Make some noise.
They're not shouting.
Make some noise.
They're not chop breakfast.
There you go. Great to have you here, Lynxxx. Good
Appreciate
morning.
it, man. Appreciate it. I'm happy to
Couldn't
be
drag you
here.
out of bed too early though.
Nah, man, we have to come and chop breakfast. man.
Right, right.
You know,
But you wake up, are you an early morning person?
Nah, let me tell you the truth. I go to sleep at like 6 a.m. every day.
What?
Yeah.
So
Insomnia?
I work at night.
Oh.
Yeah, I work at night.
How about when you travel?
Same
So
thing.
time zones affect you at all?
Same thing. Same thing. Like if I travel to the States now 5 hours behind, I'll still be sleeping 5 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I work better at night. I'm more creative at night.
Nah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. What have you been up to? I'm not sure I'm the only person who's curious about that.
Man, I've been up to a lot. Like since I haven't been putting out
Music, exactly.
I had to sacrifice that time to build my other businesses. So for those guys that want to grow their beer, you know, there's the Man Like Beard Oil. I have a collaboration with a brand called Ajali. Also, the major thing that I've been doing my time is I've been building my creative digital agency.
Okay.
So it's called I Create Media, and we do stuff like, you know, logos, corporate branding, digital marketing, web creation, app creation, content creation, and then like business development, strategy, and stuff like that. So that's really what I spent the last like 4 years.
Right.
You know, building. Why everybody's been asking, how is this? Where's this?
Did you ever feel
Yeah.
bad about the fact that you had to now focus on business and just kind of completely stop music? Did it make you feel any type of way?
Not really. Obviously, I miss the ability to just be on stage and release and constantly. But at the same time, as a man, I understand the sacrifices that you sometimes have to make, and you can't necessarily be explaining yourself every time along the way. Let the work speak for itself. Let the results speak for itself. Let people understand that, okay, this is why you had to sacrifice this time or this thing to be able to achieve this as well. Because we're getting older. I'm 10 years into this
Right.
artist career. I came out 2009. It's 2019.
Exactly.
So, you know, as a man, I'm 10 years older. My responsibilities are now 10 years older too.
Right.
You feel me? There's bills I'm paying and stuff like that, and there's family that I'm planning to start in the future. We're not young anymore, so it's just a sacrifice you have to make as a human being.
So 10 years in the game, how would you assess the music from when you started till now?
I love it, man. I love where we at. You know, 10 years later, I'm seeing what everyone contributed to this. You know what I'm saying? People like NATO inspired me to do what I'm doing. People like me have probably inspired a couple of these younger cats to do what they're doing. So at the same it's just like, it's a cycle of everyone bringing bricks so we all get higher. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anything as a competition with any artist, not even just for myself, but in general, we're working towards a goal. So when everybody's shouting Africa to the world, nah, you know, it's the likes of the Banj and Jazzy that took that step, you know, to try. And then the likes came like Wiz and David and Tiwa, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like where everyone has, every brick everyone has contributed to where we're at is very significant to the growth, you know. And it's high time they take note of what we're doing because we lit.
I mean, again, do you ever feel like they sometimes discredit you or don't give you enough credit for your contribution to where the music is at right now?
Nah, because like I don't live for gratification. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very confident human being, and I'm sure of whatever I do or whatever I contribute towards any project. So for me, I don't need nobody to say, oh, Lynxxx did this, that, and the third. I know what I've done. You know what I'm saying? In my career, when I initially got my first endorsement, I had an opportunity to take people on tour. David O's first show was on my tour. You know what I'm saying? I took the likes of Tiwa, Ice Prince, Vector, Eva, Black Magic. It was like at a point with like 20 artists on tour, and I'm talking about 10 different states, flying like 50 people. You know, to Abuja, to Nasarawa, to Benue, so that opportunity also helped other artists leverage and be seen and be heard. And then certain opportunities and certain endorsements came for those artists as
people.
well. So, for me, I'm all about growth, and I'm all about how whatever my platform is, I want to use it to impact the next person's life.
Have these guys ever paid you back? Have they in some way kind of returned the favor?
I think it all boils down to respect. You know what I'm saying? Like we know what it is, and where there's always that mutual respect of good looking out at this certain point in my life. You feel me? So for me, like David, for example, is a good colleague of mine. You know what I mean? His manager Asa is a very good friend of mine because
Right.
he also manages my artist, DJ Obi.
Okay.
So it's love, man. I don't think anybody needs to go around. Lynxxx did this, Lynxxx did that. I don't live for those kind of things. It's just
I
like
think it's going to
let's
encourage
get it.
other people to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I like right now, where the industry is, everyone's pretty much trying to, solidify themselves as, this, that, and the third in the industry. So it's more like, touring is more of an individual thing now than it was back then when it was just like, man, guys, there's this opportunity, let's go and flex everywhere we can and give a good show. But like now everyone's thinking about their individual tours, which is not bad because it helps everyone establish their brand as well.
Somehow.
Whether it's in the UK, in Canada, in the States or whatever. So it's still love, man. Like everyone's doing great, man. I love it.
Okay, so you're not churning out music like you used to.
Right
But
now
will
I
that,
am.
Will that change? Yeah, I know. But has the sound changed now?
Nah, like if you listen to my new single, you will see that it's still more or less the same jollof music, man. The other now the ingredients were adding some more spice. You know what I'm saying? But like it hasn't changed. Like I still want to give people dope music, mellow vibes, up tempo vibes, R&B vibes. It's whatever you're known Lynxxx for. It's still what it is, just on a better scale, better production. Shout out to Sparks, and it's better music, man.
So beyond your responsibilities, which you said have changed, right?
Right.
What else has changed about you in the last few years that you kind of took some time off music?
Definitely my perspective on life in general.
Okay.
As you guys know, I had a spiritual awakening in
Yes, you
2015, so-
did.
Yeah,
We're
so
coming to that in a bit. Justin
Right.
is actually also just being a lot more vocal about his faith, and that's
Yeah.
awesome to see.
yeah, we have a platform. What are we doing it with? Like, what are we using it for? Oh, download my song. Like, they get it. You know what I'm saying? But you see, the thing is, for me, like, where I'm at in life, I'm all about impact. And when I leave this earth, I don't want people to say, Lynxxx had good songs. That's not what I want my legacy to just
What do
be.
you want your legacy to be?
That this guy changed my life in this way or the other. He impacted my life in this way or the other. It's because of this guy that, I'm in a better place. I'm happier in life. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, even if you have 10,000 followers on Instagram, do you know what 10,000 people looks like in one place? You know
A
what I'm
lot of
saying?
people.
When you see people sell out arenas everywhere, lights, you now hear 10K came to the show. That's 10,000 people. So imagine having 1 million followers on Instagram. That's 1 million people.
Right.
Senegal population is like 2-point-something million people.
The whole country.
So if you have that kind of audience where in a click you can send a message to the world, what impact are you besides your personal agenda? There has to be something greater because that's where the real value comes from. You know what I mean? So for me, that's all I'm about, man. Impact. Whether it's through my music, whether it's through what I say to people, whether it's advice I give to people or whatever. Like
So spiritually, where would you
impact.
say you're at right now?
I'm
Are
very
you still at the
settled.
point where you were before, or have you been blown
like
left, right, center?
now, like I became very spiritual in 2015. I developed a very intimate relationship with God in 2015, and what that has done for me was it kind of unlocked like my true self, my true potential as a human being, not just even as Lynxxx, and my purpose. So like I already know like part of my purpose and why God has given me this platform is to be able to, speak life into the world.
The lives of people.
Yeah, I've experienced things in life, especially like being an artist for 10 years. I've seen the jolly side of this artistry, and I've also seen what my platform can actually do for people's lives. I've had people who have been very disturbed who are even artists in their personal. You won't see these things on Instagram.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Instagram, everybody's smiling, everybody's lit, but they might be crying after they post that post. So it's like, how are you gonna use your influence to give another person hope? You know what I'm saying? And give another person some form of validation that they are worth it. You know what I mean? Because people struggle and
Absolutely.
people are not vocal about it. So until I became vocal about just my experiences with God and just my outlook in life now, then people started reaching out to me on the low, like, yo, can I speak to you about this, that, and the third? And then I realized, like, man, all of us get problems.
Can you possibly share one story that's one
well,
that's shared
I
before?
can't share names, but like
Exactly
there
what
was
you
there
mean.
was somebody that I know that was battling depression that wanted to kill themselves, and I hadn't spoken to the person in like a year, and then one random day, like 2 a.m., I was up working, obviously. I just got a message from the person saying, "Hey," so I replied like, "Oh, you good? What's up?" And then just me asking, "You good?" The person just exploded with all the things they're going through.
Yeesh.
And it was just like, I just don't see any points anymore. And I was like, whoa. And then I started to just like speak to the person, send the person scripture, just reassure the person that, look, we all go through things, everything will be okay. You know what I'm saying? And then I spent like 4 hours that night talking to the person. And then by the next day, they had come out of that space, and then they saw a reason to, just keep pushing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Their perspective changed on what they were dealing with, and it's really all about that. It's like, you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. So, there's situations like that. And then I asked the person like the next day, like, what made you message me? The person said, I don't know. So God can use anybody. Even you sometimes you be used, you don't even understand you're being used to.
Exactly.
So it's just value, man. I'm here to add value. Like as much as I'm here to do music. I want people to also realize like there's more to me as a human being than just being a musician. You know what I mean? I want to leave impact out here.
Now, being spiritual is not something we see with Nigerian artists who are not doing gospel.
Right.
Was at the point where you wanted to be vocal about your spirituality, but were you scared that probably you might lose your fans, or people might start expecting Lynxxx to drop a gospel song? Like, listen to this guy, what's going on?
You see, like the Bible says, whatever you hold on to, you lose it, and whatever you let go of, you gain it. So, if I'm doing what I truly believe is the essence of who I am, whatever I lose in the process was never mine. You know what I'm saying?
Preaching
like,
right now.
But I mean, whatever I lose in the process was never mine. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you might find that you're holding on to something that's not working for you. You know what I mean? And I'd rather be myself and lose people than fake it and gain people. You know what I'm saying? Because then I'm now lying to my own self.
Right.
So whoever thinks, Lynxxx, they follow God now. You know this, I don't hear his music again. Thank you for listening.
Right.
You feel me? Because like, I'm not worried about that.
Do you think you'll ever do a gospel track or anything like that?
I already did something like that like 4 years ago. It's called Serve You.
Yes, I know Serve You. Apart from that one.
Right. The reason why I made that record is like, because I got that question every time, like, guy, what's up? And then I had to tell this story to 100 people. So I was like, look, let me just make a song that explains everything, and then you stop asking me, go download it. You know what I mean?
So how was it like?
It was great, man. The numbers, especially on digital, was really great.
I thought it was a good song myself.
Yeah, and then there's like if I check through my phone like 2015, I see like some messages that people send me like, yo,
because of
there was a lady that was pregnant, and then at the time she listened to the record and she broke down. She sent me a message. You know what I mean? So like just from little things like that, like you touch people in a different way that you can never understand. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth is, it's for you to do and let God do the rest. It's not your work to water that plant. Just plant the seed, man.
9:43 is the time. You're having breakfast with us, and of course we're not alone. You're hearing the voice of Lynxxx right here in the studio.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, bought the t-shirts, hasn't written a book just yet.
I'm writing one though.
There you go.
The
book is coming. Don't worry. Now he is in the studio to premiere a brand new single that features Bodge on it. Why Bodge? Of all people.
Damn, man. First of all, Bodge is my cousin, man.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, people don't know that.
Mom or dad's side?
My mom's side.
Ah, awesome stuff.
So like, we're related and stuff, and we had actually released, I think I was on one of his songs on like a project he dropped like maybe 3-4 years ago. And then we had recorded like 2 records, but I never put it out.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So like, now this project I'm dropping, I've been recording it for like since 2017. And it was finished in 2017. I shaved some songs. I started recording more in 2018. And then this year I did the same thing. So when my team and I were listening to the whole project, because it's done, I was like, man, this record kind of like, it's a good conversation starter because the name of my project is Summertime Vibes. So I was like, this project actually gives off that feeling, that summertime feeling. It's mellow, it's barbecue-ish, you know what I'm saying? That kind of vibe. So
full-side stuffs.
Exactly. So I was like, this best represents the whole project as a whole. So let's drop this first, and then we have some more music coming before the project. So like, you know, there's no, like, the next time I come here, it's not going to be, Lynxxx, where have you been? It's
I
like,
know.
guy,
Well done.
all them records is fire. You know what I mean?
Alrighty, Lynxxx features Bodge on this one. It's titled She Likes. Haven't heard it before, now you are listening to it. If you've got questions or any concerns at all and you'd like for Lynxxx to address them, do us a tweet at City1051. That's at City1051 on Twitter. Hashtag Breakfast in the City, or on WhatsApp.
Yeah. WhatsApp numbers is 0909-916-4403.
City 1051 FM.
Here having breakfast with us.
Yes, sir.
And so I was gonna ask, you said the project is ready?
Yeah.
What's it gonna be called?
Summertime Vibes.
Summertime Vibes. So it's dropping when exactly?
To be honest with you, right now, I don't want to give a date because I actually wanted to drop it after I dropped this single, but then I realized like I'd rather people get like a different vibe from like 2-3 records before I drop the project. So,
Okay, so is that an EP or an album?
Electric Pocket. It's, to be honest, I don't want to call it an album, but I don't want to call it an EP. I say it's a project.
Okay, I think that's okay.
I was telling Bella that, you know, your chemistry with Banky has always been awesome. Like, you guys have dropped a lot of songs together.
Yeah.
Is he on this project as well?
Damn, man. You know, the funny thing about that is, like, Banky and I have been working together for like maybe 9 years now.
Wow.
And like, we still work together a lot. Like, I see Banky like once a week because his company EME, which is now like agency, works with my company, which is also a creative agency. So people don't know this, but Banky's campaign, I was responsible for the posters and all the materials you were seeing on the road.
Oh, I think he did mention it at some point. Yeah,
so I was responsible for all that.
Well done.
So with Banky's food company as well, and with EME, we work closely, so we handle all their creative stuff as well. So we're still working together. It's not just on a different dynamic.
So is he on this project?
No, he's not, because right now this is not his focus.
True, music is really not
it's not his focus. So
that's true. Now, I mean, Lynxxx, you're not married, and you're not that. You don't leave any footprints.
I'm a private person.
You don't leave any footprints. Do you ever get pressured about this whole marriage debate?
Nah, because like
how do you keep your head above water?
Let me tell you something now. I think people are more concerned about wedding than marriage. You know what I mean?
I told you days ago, man. I told you.
Like, people get more prepared for the wedding than the marriage as well. You know, like, I advise people, like, look, marriage, first of all, I've not been married before, but I've had the opportunity to have like 5 sisters who are married, and then also like friends who are married, whether around my age range or older or even younger. And it's not a bed of roses, and it's not. So I feel like you have to first find the right person, someone who you're compatible with, not just in terms of, oh, she's fine, oh, he's rich. Nah, but
have you ever been close enough
to marriage?
Yeah,
I think so.
How close? Introduction, engagement, close?
Maybe I'm considering being engaged close.
Ooh. Or considering being. So you didn't even pop the question.
No, I didn't get to that. Yeah. So, you know, it's I don't feel like pressure leads to marriage. I feel like you being ready mentally leads to marriage. Like, there's so many things that you have to understand, that the dynamics change in your life once you take this step.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to first of all get married in your head first, before your body can follow.
Really?
Because otherwise you find yourself in something and like, this is how this feels. You know what I'm saying? Because you might not be, like, the people that are married that are still living single. That makes sense? So you're married, but you have a single lifestyle. And
so what is most important to you? I mean, I don't know.
I think finding yourself is the most
listening
important
and
thing. Wondering,
okay, what kind of woman would Lynxxx really like to settle down with?
First of all, I vibe with people on a very high frequency who have found themselves,
right?
Who are not being influenced by the world, who chase purpose versus lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So I connect with people who are on that level. First of all, if you don't have a relationship with God, then there's really like
deal breaker.
It's kind of a deal breaker because truth is like the human beings were so flawed that the only way we can function is by having a higher authority over us.
Right.
Because otherwise, you're gonna end up with somebody that you might be having certain problems with because the person's mind is not just right. The person's perspective is not just right. The person's values are not just right. You know, and then you wonder why it didn't work out because you paid attention to the wrong things. You know what I mean? Like, instead of worrying yourself with really and truly how much this guy has, have you ever thought about something as simple as, do we like the same music? Do we like the same type of movies? Because the truth is, like, when you do get married and everybody has come to each other friends and you're gone, you're stuck with that person in a box,
but they say
in a room.
opposites attract.
No, but I was gonna say that.
Now let me ask you this, guy. Imagine, like, for example, you like ball. You marry, your wife hates ball, right? Or you like rap, your wife hates rap. The only thing she like now, maybe gospel.
Wow.
When you're in your car driving, someone has to, you know, sacrifice
the radio
for the other. Or you're in your room now, you just want to watch ball. Then your babe's like, oh babe, I don't want to watch this thing now. Then you now start getting angry. Maybe your Man U is playing. I don't care what.
He's a Chelsea fan.
I don't want to say I'm using Man U.
Because he is one.
Right. So imagine, like, okay, your team is playing, you're excited. You only get a chance to see your team once a week, and then you want to watch this match. But your babe's not interested, so she wants to watch. Exactly. Well, you know what I'm saying? Then somebody's compromised again. So the thing is, marriage is easier when you can just lay up with your babe and share the same, you know, likes and interests in certain things, because these are the functions of the longevity.
For the football parts, man, how many ladies do you like football?
Many of us don't, but we can actually we can stomach it.
Yeah. Because maybe football is a bad analogy, like maybe action movies or comedy.
Right.
You know, something as simple as that, because most people don't understand, like, all the small irritations that leads to bigger things starts from little things like this. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people say, oh, marry a friend. Yes, they say that, but then what really is your friend? You know what I mean? Or let's say, for example, you have this passion, the thing never gyrates, never enter. So you are still persistent on this thing. But then your partner is like, won't you leave this thing? It doesn't look like it's working. That person is not supporting. And then that could put pressure on you. So it's really just about understanding who you're with and looking at the simplest things to say, can I live with this forever? Will we have each other's backs forever? Will we support each other's dreams forever? Because everything that glitters is not gold, man. So I'm taking my time.
Take your time. Don't be in a rush. What's your mom saying, though?
Oh, she's good, man. We have 7 grandkids in my family.
Okay, so she's good.
The children play today. You know what I'm saying? Their hand is full, so for me to add my own, I don't know better than the head.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Okay, then it's been really awesome having breakfast with you this morning, Lynxxx.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your time. And of course, all the best with your business. But before we let you go, we've got lots of young people who listen to the show who are entrepreneurs and business owners who sometimes feel like there's certain things they cannot do. Coming from someone who has tasted fame. I mean, you have been, like I said, been there, done that, walked on that big stage. Now you're a business person. You know, like, so I'm thinking your mode of operation is slightly different. You have to be the one who's telling people to buy your stuff. You're marketing your stuff yourself, and that's a completely different reality. How do you manage that? You know, how do you handle your pride as a business person?
Pride? You can't have pride as a business person, though, because to be a leader, you have to serve. So, you know, first of all, like, here's the funny thing, like, I walk around even forgetting, like, oh, you're kind of no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't boss inside any tree, let me get more money and then, Baba, how far? Then I'll not remember,
I'm Lynxxx.
Okay, how far? Because, like, I'm not that kind of person, you know what I'm saying? I'm a free spirit. I don't carry myself like, oh, Lynxxx, you know? Nah.
Do you think that helps for some brands?
Yes, it does. Because let me tell you, the truth is, I can do what I want. I can go where I want. I don't need bouncer. I don't need anybody with me. I travel on my own sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need, because I've never created that persona where it looks like, oh, anytime you see him, bouncer, this one, that. I don't care. You know what I mean? The cheese in tenor is natural. So it's natural. So, like, For me, man, I just live. Now with business, I give advice to some people. Like I get people in my DM all the time. Oh, Baba, help me! I want rap. Listen to my song. That's never gonna change your situation. You know what I mean? Like shadowing somebody or thinking like, oh, you're hanging around certain artists, so yourself you blow. It does not work. Enter that studio and spend time working. If you have a business idea, sit with people who understand how to develop businesses and let them give you pointers. I think one of the biggest mistakes we artists make is we put so much money in the product and not enough money in promotion.
Right.
You know, and I'm even guilty of that in my past. You go and shoot video 4 million and you'll be using 100K to push it. It's not stupid. So my point is like, whatever you're doing, make sure your product is fantastic, your service is fantastic, and your marketing budget is, you know, decent. Because we're at a stage where it's literally a B2C situation for businesses. So it's business direct to customers with things like Instagram and, you know, the likes. So you actually are speaking directly to your consumers. So make sure that whatever you're offering is presentable and be resilient about it. Like just continue to go hard until people start to take notice. It took me 10 years to get one popping single. Change Your Parade. I started going to the studio in 1998. My first song entered 2009.
What?
Exactly. So
that's 9 whole years.
People just hear Change Your Parade. Where did this guy come from? I don't the all.
He came from nowhere. Like
OJB studio. I used to go there. You know what I'm saying? Even the Ezra studio. I don't even know if it's still around in VI with Nelson Brown, and like see names that if you're an OG you know these names. Like these are old heads in this thing. Right. So, you know, it took me 10 years for my music to enter. So like, just keep going hard, man, and believe in it. Even if people don't believe in you, believe in yourself and go hard, man.
Lovely. Lynxxx, thank you so much for your time on the show this morning. You've been inspiring. Y'all go out there, grab his new single that features Bodge. It's titled She Likes. It's available on iTunes, I believe.
Yep.
Literally everywhere.
Everywhere,
iTunes, Spotify, Google Music, everywhere.
Everywhere.
And follow him on social media. What are those handles?
ITS Lynxxx. ITS Lynxxx.
Lynxxx is 3 X's.
LYNXXX.
There you go. It's 10 on the DOT. Stick around. We are having serious combos in a matter of minutes.
Yes, sir.
We got the hits. We got the gist. This is Lagos' #1 lifestyle station. City 1051 FM.